Welcome, and thanks for clicking on this video. This is my first ever YouTube video to do with Pokemon cards anyway. My name's Dan, and I've been collecting and recently selling Pokemon cards. Originally got into Pokemon 1999, 2000. When I was 12 years old, watching the cartoon on SMTV Live with Ant and Dec, if anybody can remember. Playing the games on the Game Boy before there was Game Boy Color, the green and black screen. I had a full set of base when I was younger, and then when I got to 14, I sold, I think I had a full set of base and then a mix of fossil and jungle, maybe some Team Rocket. And I sold it all for, well, I can't remember how much I sold it for, but it was to buy beer. How I regret it now. God knows how much they're worth. I sold it to a mate. Massive break in between, as I think everybody my age, mid-30s, late 30s, just went off it, grew up, got a job, had a family, and then you sort of look back. Nostalgia gets you, and I think I downloaded an emulator on my phone, couple 2023, 2022, and I started playing the original games again on my phone, but I never looked into the TCG cards back then. And to be honest with you, I don't know what got me back into it. Maybe having a young kid of my own. Trying to rekindle the childhood memories. So yeah, I started collecting again just over a year ago, before all the mad hype started, really. Yeah, and then kind of went a bit mad with buying stuff. But last summer, it was quite cheap to buy Pokemon. You could pick it up anywhere. Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon a bit harder, but still wasn't that expensive. Scarlet and Violet, I was picking up boxes for £80 to £90. Base set, Obsidian Flames, Paradox Rift. Paldea Evolved I picked up a couple of boxes of that for £120 last year. And then yeah, it's I kind of bought too much. Then I started selling them on eBay, selling them locally. So, but I do collect the singles as well. I've got quite a collection of singles, ones that I've pulled and bought. So yeah, I started selling under Door TCG. That's the email I'll use if anybody wants to get in contact. I can send a list to you, and I can post them tracked, Royal Mail, do a bank transfer or PayPal, or you can go on eBay. I've got an eBay store. Door TCG the same. But yeah, these are a few things I've got that I will be putting up, or if you want to message me through the email. Things are so hard to get hold of now, especially for a good price. Anywhere you go, local card shops, they're all market price. If you're lucky, you can drop on toy stores, Smiths or Argos. Argos rarely have anything now, it's all out of stock. Smiths, and if you're lucky, if you're working and they drop them in the morning, they'll be gone in a few hours, so unlikely you'll get things at retail from Smiths. Most of this stuff I bought last year. I'm just trying to sell some to mainly reduce the amount I've got, because the biggest thing for me is storage. It's hard storing everything at my house. I ain't got a storage unit or anything, and it's amazing how much space they start taking up, especially when you've got kids and other stuff. So I'm mainly selling bits to condense into more expensive items, more expensive booster boxes, get rid of some of the lower end things I've got. So that's one, a set of Paladin Fates boosters. I know they've gone mental. I can remember last year picking these up for, because you can get in tins, I think they're about £3.50 a pack. And now what, the £10 at least. I've got a couple of these, which I kind of like, the check lane blisters. A bit more expensive because you get the cards and the coin. They're Astral Radiance, so I'll be selling a couple of those. An art set of Stellar Crown sleeved, which I do prefer the sleeve boosters to sell. You can't tamper with them as much. A lot more trustworthy than the normal packs. I've got a couple of Fusion Strike and Brilliant Stars. Really like Fusion Strike. Who doesn't like Gengar? I've got a couple of older packs. The Unified Minds. Not really. I bought these last year. I forget how much they were. I think about £18, £20 or so. Still quite expensive, but now they're stupid money. And a really old pack. Steam Seat. Well, not really old, but when is it? 2016. No, they've not got the best cards in there, but I suppose for a collection piece. Unfortunately, I don't have an art set of these. Yeah, I've only got a few packs of those. A few other things I've got on here in the storage boxes. A couple of half boosters that were under retail when I bought them. I've got some of the new black and white. Managed to drop on them. And then I don't really venture into Magic the Gathering that much, but I did manage to get some of these play boosters, not the collector ones because they're stupid money, £100 a pack, but the play boosters, I've got a few of them. Crown Zenith, a few Destined Rivals out of a, what were they out of? 3-pack blisters. I opened a few of them, but not them all. So I've got a few left. Chilling Rain. Yeah, just obviously trying to advertise myself. I think you can be a bit more trustworthy once you've got sort of like a social following on YouTube. Also, I like to talk about how I feel about people investing in Pokemon, a collectible. I know it's frowned upon, but it is I see it as like a store of value rather than just saving money in a bank account. Sort of the way people buy gold or silver jewellery, you know, it holds some value, and it seems that Pokemon always seems to go up in value the older it gets. Not saying it can't go down, it will go down, but such as, I don't know, Fusion Strike, it's never going to get printed again. And if you got these at retail, which is £4. And what if they're £10 now, and even if they do drop, you know, £2-3, you're still not lost any money. I mean, I suppose the biggest thing is if you buy in investing and you buy them at £10-12 and then they do drop, people get shaky and start selling because they think it's going to drop to zero, or anything can drop to zero. Stock, shares, and I do invest in stocks and shares. I did invest in crypto as well, but at the worst time, 2021, at the height. Some of them have come into the green, but most of them are still in the red. You got caught up in all that hype. Not sold any, just left it. Hopefully that I make a little bit of money on it, but I'm not. I know the feeling of investing in something and losing money, but I suppose Pokemon cards are a bit more tangible because you can hold them. Collectible, but as you say, they have got downsides, let's say, of space, you know, water damage, whatever. Anything could happen to them. So I like keeping them in these boxes. You know, you can lock them in with a lid, protects them somewhat against water or whatever. Mice. Mice like chewing through stuff, don't they? So yeah, so if anybody's interested, you can get in contact with me there on that email, or send me a message on YouTube. I do have a few things for sale on eBay, but I kind of don't like eBay that much. They keep changing the policies and the goalposts. They just seem to make it more difficult to sell things on eBay. And there's obviously you hit a limit and you've got to pay tax, so you got to fill all your forms out. I've already hit that limit, so I'm gonna have to be filling out some forms and paying some tax on what I've sold. So yeah, if I sell through the email, obviously I can avoid those. I will sell things cheaper through the email. eBay also add 10% on if you're buying stuff on there. If you're a seller, you can't do anything about that. They just add 10% on buyer protection fee, so it makes everything more expensive. So if I sold through the email, it would be cheaper because you get rid of that 10% automatically. Anyway, I will talk about different things, not just about selling stuff, but I'll show you things that if I do manage to pick anything up, but yeah. Anyway, cheers for watching, and hopefully I'll make another one shortly.